guys, welcome back to the podcast, and for video viewers, welcome back to Emma's Wardrobe.
My wardrobe, yeah.
If you have not watched a video podcast from us before, our podcast on iTunes is The Em and Kai Show. Everything about that will be linked below. You can find us at emandkai.com, more information about that. But because we're doing sitting down next to each other style podcast.
No, we're actually in the same room. What's going on?
Is so rare. We thought we would film it, and this is going to go up for you guys to watch. So hopefully you enjoy it. And for those of you listening, if you want to go and check it out, it will be in the information of the show notes on the podcast. So yeah, same as we usually do, but you can see us. So this week we're going to talk about vlogging over 30.
Yes, we've already covered this in a video over on our other channel, didn't we?
Yeah,
we did this like a year ago. I want to say more than a year ago, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't remember now. But yeah, we covered it, and we kind of wanted to broach it again, didn't we?
Yeah, just kind of go over it again.
Refresh it.
Yeah, and talk about kind of what, because I am over 30 now, and previously when we filmed it, I was kind of approaching 30.
Welcome to the dark side.
Thank you. I think
it's not so bad. It's not so bad here.
No, I way prefer being in my 30s than, I mean, you know, I'm only just, but still, I prefer it so far. I think it's a really interesting subject because people are getting older and older. We are getting older and older.
Like life.
People are getting older. What I mean is vloggers and bloggers are getting older and older. People are always getting older. I think that it's really interesting to see this being a feasible thing that they maybe are considering taking up, whereas previously it felt like something that was for kind of young, like teenagers and students, and
yeah.
I feel like students had the monopoly on vlogging. I felt like that
when I started doing YouTube, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, I felt it was very saturated with teenagers.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years, and I wasn't old 6 years ago, but I was married with children, and I didn't
You felt
feel
like a wise owl as a young person.
I just didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like I had the same kind of lifestyle as the other people that maybe I was watching. It just wasn't the same. And so I definitely even felt then that I didn't fit in. I remember people, if I did like a room tour, it was like a makeup room tour, and people would ask me where my bed was and why my parents allowed me to have a makeup room. It's like, well, I don't live with my parents. And there I started to realise maybe I was not your average beauty blogger. Maybe this was not... It seemed like maybe I was a little bit old for doing it. And so now it's great because more and more older generation people
I think it's fantastic.
are getting into it.
I think it is. I think obviously because as your life changes, well, the teenage vloggers and bloggers will grow up, so they will grow with it, so their life will grow with it. But now I feel that there's so many more older vloggers and bloggers, and I love to watch them because I love to watch other people's lives.
Yeah, and it's relatability as well. Someone put something on Twitter recently. They'd written a post and they said something about they didn't care about, like, I don't care about your relatability. And she was basically saying she wasn't going to censor herself and make herself seem more relatable and change herself and the way that she puts herself out just so that people would like her.
I agree.
And I understand what she was saying, but relatability is a big thing, and it's a fluid concept. So, okay, I think what she was probably trying to say was she wasn't going to put out that she had a more affordable lifestyle or a more attainable lifestyle just because people didn't relate to her. There will be plenty of people out there that do relate to her, just not that crowd that she was maybe focusing on.
Well, you can't relate to everybody. It's not a thing. You can't.
And to be fair, there's a lot of stuff that I watch that I don't really relate to their lifestyle, but I really enjoy. I was thinking, because it made me think a lot after reading her post, and I understood it, but I also disagreed with it. And for example, Gossip Girl, love Gossip Girl. I can't relate to their life.
Not a fan.
I can't, but like, Made in Chelsea, Essex, whatever you might watch. You can't relate to their lifestyles because your life is nothing like that. But you still enjoy it as entertainment.
Yeah.
And so I think people...
Well, that's what YouTube is.
Yeah.
YouTube is a form of entertainment. In fact, I think YouTube has taken over more than telly. I probably watch more YouTube than I watch telly sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through phases. Netflix definitely gave YouTube
Netflix
a run for its money. But there was definitely a period where all I was doing was watching YouTube rather than TV all the time. But yeah, I think that relatability is a thing that we're all into because it's nice to find people that have similar lives to us that we can go, oh, you know, she's doing this and I could do this. And that's great. But also, it's nice to watch people that you just like.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
doesn't really matter
People
what
that you
their
just
life is like.
But it's also nice to, like you say, to watch people that are completely different to you as a form of entertainment. For example, I think about Snapchat. I love watching Paris Hilton's Snapchat. I'm obsessed with it. Have you ever seen?
No, I think I only follow
Paris.
celebrity-wise. I only follow like the Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, do you follow Paris Hilton? Her lifestyle is just like, what? Like when she does her wardrobe, I'm like, I mean, you know, I've got like a mini walk-in wardrobe, but that's nothing in comparison to Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton has a mansion in her garden for her dogs. This is why I'm so obsessed with it. I'm like,
That's amazing.
Oh, I need to get Harvey one of those. A little doggy mansion.
But that's entertainment, and I really
it's
like that.
entertainment. It
I
is
think that's really entertaining.
And Paris Hilton's over 30, right?
Yeah, she is. But then at the same time, it is nice to see older people coming on YouTube and talking about their lives, and us going, like when you get to this age, you can still do this and you can still do that. And I think it's kind of inspirational.
Yeah.
To say that there is no, especially in this day and age, you don't necessarily need to go to school for something special or have a particular talent in a specific field of employment. These days, you can become successful just by being
you.
Yeah, just having your personality be enjoyed by other people.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's slightly entrepreneurial because you're getting out there and actually creating something for yourself. And it does show something about you in that. But it's just, I think it's inspirational to see other people getting out there and doing that no matter what their situation in life and what their age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really like that. And I can't necessarily relate to those people that post, oh, I bought this and I bought that, and they're like solicitors. That's not something that I can ever have. I can never become whatever.
You can be whatever you want to be, Kyla. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do that, though, am I? I'm like a doctor. You know, like someone being like, oh, you know, I've done this thing and I'm a doctor and blah, blah, blah. And then talking about them lives. And there is actually a doctor I follow and I really like her. But I can't relate to her, that part of her life. And I never will be able to, because that's not something that is ever going to happen to me. But I really enjoy another part of her life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think relatability is important.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But it's not everything.
No, it's not everything. You have to... Well, YouTube is escapism as well, let's face it. You do watch certain things just to escape and, like, look into other people's lives that you can't attain.
Yeah.
You know, but I do prefer watching the ones that I'm more relatable to and the ones that I'm like, oh, yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do this. Yeah.
Is that like Paris Hilton's Snapchat?
No.
I do that. I walk my
do
dog.
That. I've got a crystal chandelier in my wardrobe. No, I don't.
Not quite.
I should get one. Maybe I'll get one from like Wilkinson's.
So what else do you think is kind of, what's the difference between vlogging and blogging and social media and stuff between being 30 and younger?
The main thing I think is you don't give a shit. I think. Do you not think?
Yeah, you care a lot less about pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine having to deal with negativity online as a very young person. When I first started out, I found it really difficult to deal with, and it took me like years to kind of realise this is the way you have to deal with it. But the older you are, the in theory, not everyone, but in theory, the better equipped you're going to be to deal with.
Well,
that
like
kind of
trolls
stuff.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Like trolls now, as an older person, like if I did YouTube, like you said, if I was 14, 15, I would have just been like, oh my god, it's like cyberbullying, isn't it? But as you get older, you just quickly learn to go, delete, bye, your comment is invalid to me.
And trolls aside, sometimes there's just negativity and you need to be able to see through whether or not it's constructive, whether it's badly worded.
Yeah.
Because I've got one particular person that comments on my videos, I won't say who, but every single comment this person leaves seems really bitchy. And I'm pretty sure they just have no social skills. Like, they don't know how to put things into words, because it's never overtly mean. It's never clear what they mean to say, but everything's just got a little bit of an undertone of mean. And I don't...
You're not reading it in the wrong...
No. I really don't think. It's kind of like if you had just done your hair and I'd said something like, I really like how greasy it looks. Or I really like how it looks wet, or how it looks... And you'd be like, like every single comment is like this, but it's not as mean as that. That's like mean. But it's you really can't tell And I've left it for years, and I will leave it until it's like obvious. But that's the kind of thing that if you got lots of comments like that, you'd be like,
Oh.
you could really let it get to you. But as an older person, you go, oh, okay, you know, I don't think they mean it that way, and you can try and see through the really mean and the people that just don't know how to talk to people. Because there are lots of people in real life and online that are just like, I don't understand.
Sorry,
yeah. Like they just say literally whatever comes into their head without really thinking about how it comes across.
Yeah. So do you think there is a shelf life for vlogging over 30? Do you think there'll become a time when it, you know, we get to 40 and we're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore? Or, you know.
I think that's kind of the same with any hobby. I don't think that there is something, I don't think like you have to. I know plenty of vloggers, 40s, 50s, 60s, who are doing just fine. I think it is going to come down to more whether or not you're enjoying it still.
Well, yeah, this is true. But do you think that there's a place? Well, actually, I think there is a place. But do you think there's a place for? Because as the technology is changing, as we're growing, as we're enjoying vlogging more, you know, are we still going to be doing this in our 70s? Are we still going to be sat in my walk-in wardrobe when we're 70? You know,
Recording this podcast. Very possibly. But by the time we're 70, we'll already have this. Plus, there'll be like the next wave of technology that we're like,
Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be, you know.
Already the stuff that Ellen shows me.
We'll be recording off of our actual hand or something. There'll be like a little
with
chip.
our minds.
With our minds.
We'll just be projecting this mind to mind. Like Ella had to show me how to use Snapchat. Ella's 10, and I'm like, I don't know how to use it. And she's showing me like it's the equivalent of me showing my mum how to use her phone.
Yeah.
Ella is already showing her mum how to use her stuff, and I can already see it happening, like technology getting beyond me. But as long as we understand how to use it, I
think so long as we know how to use a computer, a camera, and
YouTube still exists,
we'll be all right. We'll be right.
I think I would still continue to do it indefinitely. I've kind of gone through phases of that. I thought that YouTube had a shelf life and maybe blogging was like forever. Because I could blog forever and it doesn't really matter, you know, where I am or what I want to share. I can share little bits of something on my blog and not feel like it's too intrusive in my life or that I'm sharing too much of myself online. And I do still feel like maybe one day, if I kind of had totally had enough with the ultra sharing like I do right now and vlogging all of my life and telling people everything, telling strangers on the internet everything about myself, that maybe blogging would be my fallback. But of the two, I've always preferred YouTube. I love the idea of picking up a camera, talking to the camera, uploading it straight away. It feels much more personal. Yeah, so much more personal. And I love that. I like that. Yeah, I don't feel like you have to be fully made up. Maybe that's the difference between vlogging 30 plus. I don't feel like I have to be face full of makeup. I could just pick up my camera.
Oh god, yeah. The amount of times people have seen my scary bedhead. Yeah.
And that's the thing for Snapchat as well. Some people are getting way more comfortable with Snapchat because it's not permanent. It doesn't feel like you don't have time to rethink. You just snap and post it. Whereas with YouTube, you'll vlog something, then you come back to edit it, and you're like, oh, you know, do I put that up? Do I not put that up? I can see how that might be a thing that would stop people.
Like censoring themselves.
Yeah. You know, like when you watch something back and you go, oh, should I leave that in or not? If it's Snapchat, you just put it up. And I think that as you get older, you do just get into the mindset of Snapchat. I've just like, I'll just put it up.
Put it up, don't care.
Put it up, yeah. You care less, definitely care less. Just generally about how people perceive you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you get to the point where you're like, well, if you don't like me, never mind.
Yeah, I'm just going to do me.
Yeah, you do me and I'll do you. No,
that's a completely different...
That's completely wrong. I'll do me.
Completely different
and
thing.
Do you.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, on that note.
Yeah, but on that note, yeah, vlogging over 30 for us, it's been great. I think that over time, I've only become more comfortable and confident on camera and sharing things and just less bothered about all the stuff that could put you off. I wouldn't want to recommend anyone still at school to be vlogging. I just don't think it's a good idea.
No.
Each to their own deep one.
If I had, I don't think
it's a good idea. For
argument's sake, Ella, for you.
Yeah.
If she's getting to the stage... Well, obviously she watches YouTube and stuff, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she would totally, if I let her, she would have a YouTube channel, she would be making videos, and it would be something that I know for a fact that at some point during her school life would become horrendously embarrassing.
How do you stop that though? How do you go to, like, if she goes, well, you do it.
I explained to her why she can't do it, and she completely understands. But it's also why I don't feature her too much in the vlogs, because I think at some point some of her friends might find out that I know some of her close friends do, but as they get older, there could be a mean kid that finds out and tries to use that as a source of embarrassment for her. I never would want my internet stuff to be a source of embarrassment for my child. And if she's not on much or any of it, then they can't really say anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's I feel really strongly that someone that is still in a school environment, whether that be school or maybe university, I don't know how, I've never been to university, but I know from some people that it can still feel a little bit like that. But someone that's in kind of a community school environment, I wouldn't recommend doing something like this.
No.
Just because it could be so detrimental to, like, social stuff is so hard. Anything like cyberbullying, social media has just made that so much worse. Something that should be so positive and is so great has been abused and been made so much worse.
I know.
With social media.
I can't imagine being at school now.
No, well, we wouldn't fit in because we'd be far too old.
Yeah, it would be in the back of the class.
Yeah. I feel like if you could go back in time now and go to school, it would be completely different.
Do you?
Yeah, I'd be like, this is how it's going to be. Like, I was, like, really introverted and really quiet and just let stuff happen around me. And now I'd be like, none of this is going to fly.
I suppose I was quite quiet at school, but I was kind of like an all-rounder. You know, like you get the cool kids, and then you get the geeky kids, the technology kids, and then I was always in the middle,
like bounce between.
I talk
groups.
to everybody, and I feel like that's progressed through my whole of life. And I don't know. I can't imagine doing this when I was at school. No.
No. I can imagine doing it. I wouldn't have understood why. Although when I first made videos, when I was like 25,
Do you make it sound like that was such a long time ago?
24. It feels like forever ago. But when I was younger and making videos, I was so embarrassed about someone finding out. Even like 2, 3, 4 years into it, if I accidentally posted something on my real Facebook, I was mortified and I was getting it down as soon as possible. I never used to share it on my like personal stuff, and I never would tell people that I worked with. I don't mind now. Now I've kind of
made your peace with it.
Yeah, I'm like,
as you got older,
this is what I do. Yeah. But when I was younger, I was definitely like, oh my god. So I can't imagine how much worse that would have been if I was still at school. That would have been really hard. So yeah. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Should we see if we've got a question actually? Because we didn't do that on the previous one.
Yeah.
Let's have a question. Probably from Erin.
Erin's question of the week.
Let's see what we have got. Erin! Did we do this one already? No. Erin says, best thing your spouse has ever done for you, worst thing they've done.
Oh. I feel like we should look at these questions before.
I know, her questions are always so like thought-provoking. They're like, oh, I really don't know.
I need a good half an hour to think about this. Best thing he's ever done is propose. You know, that was pretty a special thing. Worst thing he's ever done. Worst thing. I don't think he's done anything really terrible that I can think of. What about you?
Best thing, man. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that there are no standout, like, wow, that was a really amazing thing. I'd like to think it's a good thing.
It's a good
that it's not like
it's a good thing. I can't think of anything bad.
But it's not like all so bad that you can think of that one time he was nice.
Oh yeah, I see that. See you.
Like I can't think of anything. You know, like some people would be like, oh, you know, he did the washing up that time. Like Lee's so tidy and is like big on cleaning and stuff. I can't.
So that's
think
a good
of...
thing all round.
Yeah, exactly. I probably just in general, his best thing is that he just kind of goes along with what I want to do.
That's
like I'll go.
Chris, actually, they're so laid back. They're horizontal.
Yeah. Like let's do this thing and that. Yeah. Okay.
Like right now, they're just sat watching telly.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Just letting it all hang out. Worst thing, I can't never think of like one specific thing, but worst kind of trait would be really odd jealousy.
Oh.
Like, whether it be with, not necessarily like for other men, but for like, if I spent, this when you say, oh, they're just chilling out downstairs, like, we could spend too much time together in a setting where he expects us to spend more time together, and he would react and behave really strangely. Maybe once or twice in our relationship has that been like, you are being weird, guy. Like, that is weird.
Because he just wants to be with you.
Yeah, I think jealousy, unless it becomes like a real problem, is never a really horrible trait, because it just means that they really care.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only thing.
I think Chris's trait, it's not jealousy, he's not jealous at all. He's got a temper, but not like an awful temper, like car temper. He gets road rage.
Oh, yes.
Terrible road rage.
Yes.
To the point where he's effing and jeffing at something so tiny, and I'm just sat in the passenger seat going, all right,
Okay.
chill out, enough. But I think it's because he drives all day for a living, so that's his thing.
But you'd think he'd be more tolerant because he sees it all the time.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know what he's like when he's by himself, obviously.
This is what scares me. Like, Lee's got the worst road rage, and I often think, like, if this is what he's like when I'm here, what is he like when I'm not there? Like, a kid threw a stone at my car the other day, and I had, like, a fleeting moment of, if the traffic hadn't been that bad around where we were, I would have turned around and followed them.
Really?
I was so angry. But it was, like, momentary, and I got over it. And I just thought in that moment, if that had been Lee, he'd have fucking killed them. I can only imagine the road rage, how it would, like, manifest itself. Like, if you had ever had that conversation of, if it was your last day on Earth, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do?
What would I do? Yeah. Yeah, we've had that conversation. What would you do?
I would, like, 100% BB gun all the people that are pissing me off.
Really? Oh, no.
No consequences. I'd be like, you people.
Oh my god, we're very different. For my last day, I just want to just like be in Chris's arms, eating steak and bread crumbs.
Oh. I just like
You're just gonna go
on
you're gonna go on a rampage because you won't get done for it.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna go on a
just
rampage.
be lovingly in my husband's arms.
All the kids that have ever been mean to my kids, all the people that were mean to me at school, you're all getting a BB gun thing in the leg. I don't want to kill anyone.
No.
I just want them to know.
Anyway, right, should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's a good idea. We were wrapping up ages ago.
Yeah,
so
we
yeah.
were.
So on that note of my like murderous rampage note, that was vlogging over 30.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You know, we don't care. I care a little bit. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested, we have a podcast every single week on the Em & Kai Show. We also have emandkai.com where you can find everything podcast related now. Or you can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, loads of other places.
We're everywhere. Everywhere.
We are all over the place.
We're going to have merchandise soon before we know it.
Merch,
Yeah,
for sure.
merch.
T-shirts. Murderous rampage. Yeah, totes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next time.